I often say to people, did you start your business because you wanted to be really great at admin or really great at spreadsheets or really great at automation? No, you started your business because you wanted to deliver that expertise. And for me, that's the same with marketing. Marketing for me is essential. Of course, I want to get my message out there. I want people to know the difference that it can make.
Stop and don't spend another single cent on advertising until you listen to this. I'm Kerry Anne Nelson. This is Ready, Set, Paid Ads, digital marketing for paid ad success. Let's go. I'm joined today by Kerry Anne Nelson. She's an operations consultant and director at Operation Verve. We have a fantastic conversation, starting with our horror stories of Meta, which I'm sure you'll all relate to, but then really diving into what it means to run an ads campaign and how your own processes and structure around marketing for your business will ultimately determine how successful that campaign is. Kerry shares her 5-step process for mapping out an ads campaign and mapping out marketing. We have so many great insights into AI, human connection, and really why operations and that process drive behind your business will help to free you from the day-to-day. I think it's a great listen for any business owner, and I hope you enjoy it. Welcome back to another episode of Ready, Set, Paid Ads. I'm excited today to be joined by Kerry Anne Nelson. Hi, Kerry.
Hello, how are you, Marianne?
Good, how are you?
Very well.
That's good. Look, to kick off, do you want to introduce yourself and tell everybody about you?
Yep, absolutely. My name is Kerry Anne Nelson. I am a workplace process architect and operations officer here at Operation Verve. So I started this business 7 years ago in 2018. And basically, I help people to optimize their processes, get their team working really well, build those workflows to support really higher levels of productivity and engagement with your real humans working in your team.
Amazing. I mean, I've obviously someone that's gone through that process with you, and it is such a enlightening process, I think. It was so amazing to see my business on this wild map. But that work that we did with you, I think I learned so much as well. You filled in so many gaps and promptly there were so many moments where you'd say, so when a lead comes in, do you do this? And I'd be like, no, but I should.
Nice. It can be easier to see from someone else's perspective. So when you're too close to it, sometimes it really can help to have someone else. And likewise with you, that I've got some clarity around working with you and getting my target market really tight, my package is really tight, and putting that out to market. So having a trusted expert is a really smart idea because you can't see the wood for the trees sometimes.
No. And again, you can't, as a business owner, I think I've been thinking about this a lot. I guess, again, in my industry, there's a lot of marketing that goes out about why pay an agency to do your ads when you can do it yourself. And yes, like you can absolutely learn to do ads yourself and you can master it. But is that the best use of your time? And I think it comes back to that, well, yes, I could have locked myself in a room and tried to pick apart my processes, but is it the best use of mine? And do I need to become a operations expert? Is that what I'm best served to do? Or having someone that's so skilled in it and has reached that mastery, being able to help you and give you that external perspective? I guess, is that thing where DIY isn't always the best way?
100%. Because what happens is if you as the owner start taking on all of those like extra peripheral jobs, you can't be the expert of all of them. You become the jack of all trades. You dilute your expertise. You're not working in that zone of genius. You can't get into that flow and really bring that offering through to fruition at that high, like you say, that mastery level, because you're stuck doing a homemade business. If you want to play a bigger game, you have to realize that having really smart, well-educated, experienced people around you will get you further faster. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And it's so kind of like building that team around you. It's that team of experts that you go to. And especially if you're in a professional services business, you're also trying to be the expert to other people. You're trading off that expertise as wanting people to work with you. And then if you try to do everything yourself, You're going to let go of your craft and again, not kind of be putting it all back into that economy as well.
Yes, that's exactly right. I often say to people, did you start your business because you wanted to be really great at admin or really great at spreadsheets or really great at automation? No, you started your business because you wanted to deliver that expertise. And for me, that's the same with marketing. Marketing for me is essential, of course. I want to get my message out there. I want people to know the difference that it can make. But it's not my zone of genius. It's not the thing that lights me up. I don't get out of bed excited to do marketing the way you do. I get out of bed excited to make those process charts that you were talking about. And yeah, and so swimming in your lane and then bringing others with you, it really is the most effective way forward.
Yeah, 100%. Well, it's
Mm.
funny because the question I'm going to ask you now is an interesting lead in. We're here to talk about ads and your experiences with ads as well. And the question that I love to ask everybody is, do you ads?
The answer is yes, but at the moment I'm on a pause because we've had quite a mess that Meta has created for us here to fix. So that's been a real challenge. So I know I'm not the only person. In fact, I read an article just this morning. No, it was a post on LinkedIn. I read just this morning of yet another horror story of a beautiful businesswoman in the wellness space, and her entire Facebook profile has been locked.
Oh,
She can't do
God.
a single thing with it. She
Yeah.
built up thousands and thousands of followers, and it's now useless to her. And so I know I'm not alone when I say that that's almost exactly what's happened to me. And so to this day, I don't know what has made my profile unsuitable, flagging their community standards or whatever
Yeah.
thing. I just know it's really frustrating. And so yes, I am keen as mustard to do ads, but where am I now? Still trying to set up that foundation of the new profile from which I can launch and do some paid ads.
It's so
Crazy.
frustrating. And it happens to so many businesses. I mean, the whole business meta infrastructure is so difficult to navigate in the first place. And even just having people set that up right and have themselves have access, have a backup person with access. The amount of businesses we come across where we had one recently and it's a shopping center. So it's not like a small business.
Mm.
And the person that owned the Facebook page that had like 17,000 followers was, an old employee, but we couldn't put our finger on who. And
Oh,
one day,
no.
we all just lost access. So it was sort of like
Um,
the other three people in, you're out. The only person with access is this one mystery person. And I had to make so many calls to Meta. And then I finally got sort of a bit of a, I don't know, cheeky or sweet person at Meta. And they said, if you can read out names to me, I will tell you if you say a right name. So then I
oh, that's brilliant.
my client and said, list me everybody that's worked in marketing for the last 5 years. So we kind of went through all these names and then they said that one. And that was it. We had it back. But when it comes to ads, you're right. There's also this whole thing of you've breached a standard or you're not qualified to be all of a sudden. And if you've built your whole business or at least your leads and your flow in relies heavily on ads, it's crippling. And
Yeah.
I guess I always default to old school thinking because, I came from the archives of marketing. And
Nuts.
if the TV ad stopped working, we had our rep. We had someone at the station
Right.
and real people we could talk to. And I think that's where Meta can be so frustrating. It's almost like the Wizard of Oz, right? Like there's
Yes.
behind the curtain. We're not allowed to know who they are. We're not allowed to talk to them. And for business owners, there's this kind of crippling retraction of what's been a great way to market. And then nobody who you can talk to that can help you fix it.
Yeah, that is exactly right. And unfortunately, that has been my story. So
Yeah.
I had a really revolting time when those ads shut down. That was it. And for me, and I know I'm not, again, not the only one, but for me, that means going back to old school, going back to one, out networking, trying to get the speaker gigs,
Yeah.
trying to get the foot in the door, building those relationships. And don't get me wrong, there's a place for that still anyway. I do want to champion that because real humans help real humans.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is such an effective pathway that was just shut down. And
Yeah.
to me, I'll be honest, I was really burned. I just thought, well, this is not effective. Why would I try again?
Yeah.
I've got work, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I just let sleeping dogs lie.
Yes.
A couple of years, I didn't even touch it until this year. I thought, all right, I really need to pull this out. I'm ready to scale. I've got some seriously good team members and I'm good to go. I actually need to sort of level up a bit here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
which meant I had to pull out that whole can of worms and say, right, where are we?
Yeah.
Yeah, can we finish, please? Yeah, which
Oh,
we are in the process of doing.
yeah, but it is true. And I think back about how people were really resistant to ads and really kind of upset when ads came about and this
Hmm.
feeling of it's not fair that we have to pay now. And I've always been really, I guess, on Meta's side, and we have this amazing free platform that's helped us all grow businesses. It makes sense that at some point we need to pay. Like they
Yeah.
need to also be sustainable. We need to pay. Paying, I think, has increased the quality, it increases the user experience. I have no problem with that. I think
Mm.
the problem is as well when you take away someone's ads account where they've built a dependable stream, it's not even just that you're kind of shutting down their operations at that point. And obviously, we do say to people, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Make sure you have an email list, make sure you have other options. But it's also all the money you invested to get it to that point because
Oh, yeah.
get an ads account operating smoothly for you, optimized and kind of dependable, where you know, like, okay, if I turn that ad on, my masterclass will get some bookings or my leads will drip in. That's not an overnight process. You've kind of invested all this money to get to that point and then it stopped. I think that's what ethically bothers me so much as well is that there has been often like a long term, like this lady you're talking about with the wellness business,
Mm.
probably years of building on Meta
Yeah.
and years of investing and backing that platform. And then to be able to have that turned away is wild. And we had one of our accounts switched off at the start of the year. Again, no reason, community
Yeah.
standards. I went in to fight hard because they're like, oh, we investigated and you were in breach. So we've shut it down. I was like, okay, well, I'm sure you did a thorough investigation. So share that to me. Oh, no, we
Have
don't have
you?
notes on file. Well, if there was a legal case, I'm sure you'd be able to find those notes. So did that. And again, like you, got to the point where I was just sick of it, couldn't be bothered, let it go, set another option for us. And then randomly out of the blue, I think like 6 weeks ago, it just came back.
What?
I just got this email that was like, pre-reviewed our standards and you're fine.
Oh,
Like, and that's
that is
and
insane.
that's when you just know all of these things are machine glitches. They're machine
Yeah.
glitches that there is no human, coming back to human that's invested enough to look at it and fix it.
Yeah. It is an absolute, it's a rabbit hole, isn't it? I mean, we could go so far down
I
this path
know.
now of AI and how much is automation running our lives and yes, and the
Correct.
algorithm and how that, yeah,
But
that
it is a nod to
just
that as well, that
it's so central.
into AI and people believing that AI will be able to do it all for us. There's
Mm.
going to be no one accountable. And that's important to remember as well. If AI runs your diary and AI runs your whole lead gen process, and what happens when it fails? It's
Yeah.
not a team member that you can sit down and say, hey, look, something went wrong here. Let's talk about it. How can we fix this in the future? Like there's going to be zero accountability.
Yeah.
There is no
Yeah.
human behind it. And I think that's quite an interesting insight to think about as well.
It really is. And the fallout of these things. I mean, we literally live with daily data breaches.
Yeah.
Every single day, there's something. And the bigger they are, the worse the fallout.
Yeah.
And yet society just keeps going.
No.
And we keep providing our details to all these because
Yeah.
it's the only way.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
100%, we have to.
It's
We have
very
to. Yeah, we have to give all those details to that platform, and
Mm.
yeah, that's really interesting as well. I think you're right. Like we've been conditioned
Mm.
that it's okay to have a data. Like the first data leak, we all panicked,
Yeah.
and now it's kind of like, oh, okay, another data leak. Cool. Do I have to change my password? Is that what?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Again, I can't be bothered.
My password, or is the issue that someone knows like my birth date and my passport number? Like,
Yeah.
what are we talking about? My blood type? Like, yeah, it is really scary. But I agree, like the human side, and even with you saying like about networking and that human to human, like I think there's kind of like an onus on us as business owners to maintain the human side and to recognize that the systems, the machines, like we can't give it all over to them, because there is a lack of accountability there as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's also a lack of all of those human things that we need to have a really wonderful experience in our life. This conversation is really nice with you, Marianne. Like to be able to talk to a human and have that little endorphins hit, have the little dopamine hit when you both have a laugh.
Yeah.
We need that as humans to
Correct.
grow and to be able to think clearly and create and invent
Yeah.
and make progress. We need those things. And yes, let's not go too far in that pendulum swing though, because the reality is these tools are so valuable.
Yeah.
It's, I'm doing so much better work
Yeah.
now that I can leverage some of these tools.
Yeah.
So it's not to say that it's throw a baby out with the bathwater, but it is just having these checkpoints where we're mindful, where we're intentional, where we're present to not only what we're doing, but the effect of.
Yeah. No,
Mm.
100%. And I'm with you as well. I'm certainly not turning my back on AI, and I'm actively seeking out how I can use it to be more efficient. But the more you hear the doomsdayers and
Yeah.
the kind of, I guess those are so optimistic that it'll take over everything, and those that are so cautious that it'll take over everything, I definitely sit in the middle. Like, I think there's value and there's opportunity, but you have to tread really carefully
Yes.
with the steps that you take, for sure.
Yes. Very true. Absolutely.
So I know that ads played a good role for you and
Yes.
then broke your heart.
Yeah.
That's one of the conversations I wanted to have on with you on here today, which I think is so valuable for people listening, is around the operational side of ads. And as I said, the work that I did with you in terms of mapping out processes in my business, a lot of that was from initial inquiry through to conversion or non-conversion. What does that look like? And I think,
Mm.
even marketing campaigns, even though we're marketers, we had great conversations about processes around marketing campaigns. So I thought it would be wonderful to get your perspective on almost like the structure that you see as beneficial around ads.
Yeah, yeah. Excellent. Thank you for asking me that. This is absolutely my favorite topic. And yeah, you're right. Like the more you can nail that structure, the more consistent you'll be, the more intentional you'll be, the more strategic you'll be. And then you'll know the levers to pull
Yeah.
to change the impact. Once you start to really map out what you're doing, have a strategic think about why, then you'll be able to measure the outcomes and be able to then adjust accordingly, tacking like a ship at sea, being able to, adjust those sales and catch where's the next movement coming from. And particularly with marketing, it's never static.
No.
So what worked for me those couple of years ago before Meta broke my heart is not going to work for me now. Markets have shifted, tools have shifted. I've become more expert in a couple of years of helping people. So as one of the first things that I did with you, I came to you and said, hey, let's go. And we started talking about the strategy, and I said, Marianne, I'm just going to have to map this out.
Yeah.
I need to see where are all the moving parts of this. And then from there, where's my checklist of things that I need to go ahead and build, any collateral, blah, blah, blah. Actually activate that plan. But mapping it out is so key. One of the main reasons comes back to what we're saying. It's because humans are involved. We could just set an automation and get AI to do this thing and that thing, and off we go. But because we want to have those checkpoints, we want to have the human flavor in their messaging. We want to be responsive to humans. All of those things mean we actually need to make this so visible. And it's not only in marketing, but marketing's particularly sensitive in this area. We need to make this process and what our outcomes are, what our strategies are, and then what the targets are. We need to make them so clear that other people can become involved.
Yeah.
I think when you're a visionary as a business owner, it's very easy to think, I see it. I know exactly what we're going to do. And you get busy doing it. And then everyone else is like, what's happening this week? I don't get it, because they didn't have a pathway through which to access that plan. So for me, the operations behind a marketing strategy, just like any other operational process, is about engaging humans and bringing people onto the same page so that we can all work collaboratively to achieve those goals.
Amazing. So tell me more about what that looks like.
Yeah, awesome. I'm a primary teacher by trade. Actually, I don't know if you knew that, but
Yeah, when you said as I'm like, I don't know that.
yeah, there you go. So I taught in primary schools like well over a decade ago now, but here we go. So I've got my little sticky notes because I knew that we'll just be here in a little Zoom call. So I thought I'd share with you. Now, I've got up to 6 So I've got my little 6 steps based on what you and I have done in this marketing strategy so that, so that it's directly relevant. So here I am, audiences of the global network. Here we are. But this does apply to whether you're building any process in any part of your business. Okay,
Yes.
let's go. So first of all, we need to define the outcome.
Yeah.
Need to clearly decide what is it that we're actually trying to do here? What is the aim that we're looking to achieve? And I don't mean just say what the outcome is, like more clients.
Yeah.
No, it needs to be really specific. What are the goals we're setting for this campaign? Are we looking for 5 new leads a month? Are we looking for 3 new booked on calls a month? What is the thing we're looking for? And define that like in the little picture. Like it's got to be a target that is so well defined that everyone knows what success looks like and what failure looks like, so you can adjust. And then the second little step is choosing the strategy. So you can see there are all the little steps leading to the outcome. Choosing the strategy. And that's where you are particularly strong, Mary Anne, in your marketing strategy. Deciding like, okay, here's the goal. Well, there's 100 ways to skin a cat. There's so many different ways you could get there. What is the way that is going to be the most cost effective, the most aligned with your brand and your values, the most accessible for your team to participate in, and the one that is leveraging the tools that you've got easy access to right here and now. So choosing your strategy is about choosing what are the steps you're going to do to achieve those outcomes. Then I am a Bronco supporter. I come from Queensland. So state of origin is always my favorite time of year. Then we need to set the goals. We need to say, right, here's the strategy, not the overall outcome. We're talking about specific short-term goals that we're achieving this week, this month.
Yeah.
To achieve the outcome that might happen in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months.
Yeah.
So make those goals really targeted. And then this is where I did my little chart, which I do have up here as a reference for my own memory right here on the computer screen. We need to map it. We need to actually say, right, we've set the goal, we've got the strategy. Now exactly how is this going to get done? Simon Sinek says that every why needs a how. And if you have that, you are destined to fail. So you need to know exactly how. And that is where your team can come in. Building out strategy and marketing might mean having your people editing videos for you, writing copy for you. Not that I want to do this, but managing your ads even for you. That's why I'm friends with you, Mary Anne. But that might be what it looks like. So mapping the process so you can start to delegate some of those steps. Number 5 is build the workflow.
Yeah.
So these days, these sticky notes are kind of cute, right? But this wouldn't actually work for a real strategy. You really do need to leverage the tools that you've got. So setting up your automations, setting up that funnel, plugging in your CRM, all of those things that are your automated workflow to leverage the tech tools. And then finally, at risk of going on for too long, number 6 we got there is create your work instructions. And so that's where you've got your process all set out, and then you have people that can come and do it for you. And so one of those instructions be your instruction video, a checklist, a template, whatever the thing is that people need to use to drill down and activate that plan so you can actually achieve the outcome. The end. Thank you very much.
Was I a well-behaved class?
You did very well. Gold star. But that is how you do it. That's how you do any of this stuff.
Yeah. I think it's so great. And there's a few things that stand out to me there. Like the first is the amount of people that come to us and just want to run ads. Like they're in the middle. Like they don't really have a clear their objective is like, I need more. They don't have a clear definition of what that is. They don't have a clear definition of what they want to do. Like they've targeted ads because they've heard of it or someone told them. Like they haven't thought about all the options. And then they don't have any processes, And then so we probably fill in the gap of like how it's going to work, and the instruction part gets waylaid. And then you have people where they leave and they say it didn't work. And we go, well, hang on. We can see like we were giving you 10 leads a month. And when I log into your website, because sometimes we can do that, which is really cool, read those contact forms. Like my ads managers, if we have access and permission, they will go and read the contact forms every month to know if the leads are good or not.
Oh,
But
fabulous.
they're actually wanting to know if they're doing the right thing. And we'll be like, oh, actually, like you had 4 inquiries for renovations in the inner west, and that's your business. How did it not work? Like, if you're not, well, oh, well, by the time we called that guy, he found someone else. Oh, that one. And it's all these sorts of things where it's like, do you have a process? Do you have
Yeah.
it? Like, we're sending you these leads, you're getting these inquiries. Do you have a process? And there is so much that needs to happen around running ads. And then the other thing I was going to say there as well on the work instructions is something I brought up to you, I think last week when we were chatting, and I was like, Kerry, you've got to get onto some opinions around like Scribe because everybody loves Scribe. And I'm getting served so many ads for Scribe on TikTok. These
Yeah.
creative ads around stop being the person that knows everything in your business. Scribe is the answer.
Mm.
Scribe is the answer for the very last step.
That's exactly right,
When
Marianne.
you don't know the bigger picture of what you're trying to document or how, or even if you don't have a structure of how to and where to store everything you create in Scribe, you're just making another black hole.
Yeah.
Like saying to someone on your team, oh, log into Scribe, I've got instructions for all of that. That's no more helpful.
No.
They don't know where, how, which scribe pertains to what things. So I think the beauty of your process, it gets you to a point where you can use some of these amazing new tools
Yes.
and wonderful AI solutions and all that. But if you don't put the legwork in, and it's exactly the same with ads, you don't put the legwork in up front, you just end up with another project that goes in the drawer
Yeah.
that didn't
Yeah.
deliver what you were promised, and I'm using the air quotes for everyone who can't see, that you were promised it would
Yeah.
deliver.
Yep, 100%. Oh, there's so much you've just said. I'm going to now describe one because I couldn't agree with you more. So many people think organizing their processes is just starting to make videos and write up all the, and get just tools like Scribe and Tango to do these things. Great. It's definitely a step. But if you haven't refined, what is that process actually about? Why are we even doing that process at all?
Yeah.
Who's doing it? How do we organize where these instructions go?
Oh.
How does the person access them when they actually need them? Because what the scenario you just described there is exactly it. People are coming back and they're saying, oh, yeah, the instructions are over there, which means no one has a system for how to access the instructions.
Yeah.
So it's just changing the conversation. It's not streamlining the process. It's still the same questions are being asked because there's not an answer that's set up inside an accessible space through which to access that answer.
100%.
Yeah.
And the question becomes, instead of how is it that you do this thing, is like, where did you save the instructions on
Yes.
how to
And then the question
rock?
is, oh, I couldn't find them. I just did it again. And then it's which version of the instructions and which one do we use? Yeah, no, that is just a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
It really is.
And again, it's that we get sold these quick fixes and
Yeah.
the way that Scribe is being marketed at the moment. And I love Scribe, don't get me wrong. And I
Yeah.
know you think it's a great tool as well. Like it is
Yes.
a fantastic tool, but it's a tool. And I think that we can compare that to ads. Ads are a tool,
Yes.
are not the solution. Turning on an ad is not going to fix your business if
Yes.
all the other strategic and structure and foundational work hasn't been done.
Yes, that is exactly right. The other thing you mentioned before that relates perfectly to what you're saying here is the sales conversation, which is just so vital to nail. Using tools like ChatGPT or like Claude to start to pull together some of the key questions that you might want to include in that sales conversation, so valuable. But at the end of the day, especially if you're selling a high-end sort of a service, you're not going to convert someone the way you would a $13.95 product on Amazon. People aren't just going to jump in and click and buy the thing. They need the conversation to connect, to establish trust, to then build that bespoke sort of an offering as well. Like I know you and I had a few conversations around exactly how can Marianne help Kerry best right now. And the first couple of things didn't quite nail it, but we had that exchange and we got there and now I'm very happy and continuing. But the point is that you need to know that when that person approaches you on the other side of your marketing, that you are prepared, that you can have a conversation, you can investigate their needs and you can respond in a way that creates a win-win. And that's not coming out of Scribe. That's not coming out of ChatGPT.
No,
That's a
100%.
very inherently strategic process that needs to happen between two humans.
Yeah, yeah, exactly right. And yeah, it's so funny how much of today has been about just that human to human emphasis, but it's so true. Like,
Yes.
there is no, I don't think, and I don't know obviously what will come in the future, but I don't think that there's any replacement that could take that lead on that journey with you and create that connection, build that trust, and then be able to, as you say, have a bespoke option and have a, we have proposals for everything, but the amount of time that someone needs a tweak to that
Yeah.
proposal where it's like, well, this is the package, but oh, hang on, you're saying that you don't do this or you actually need this thing as well. So let's tweak that. Let's make that work for you. Again, that humanness, that one to one. And also, we buy from people we know, like, and trust,
Yeah, it's
right?
like
There's
fundamental.
yeah, there's emotion, and sometimes you get on that call with the person who you've seen everywhere, and on the call you kinda go, "Oh, I don't think I wanna work with this person."
Yep.
We're not gelling, and that's huge as well. Like, that is again comes back to, like, that small and medium business. That's why we are in business. We're not in business to be the big faceless conglomerate, to be
Yes.
nameless, faceless organization that's impersonal. I think we've chosen what we've chosen because we value that human connection piece, and again, I think that will remain. That will carry forward regardless of how the technology can assist us.
Yep, I absolutely agree. I don't know how many times that in this small business journey, you come to the point where, oh, I'm just going to get a job. Oh, but I can't. Oh, but I can't because I love working with these people and doing this thing and this way. It makes such a difference. But we've all been there. We
Yeah.
all know how hard it can be.
Yeah.
And then, but flip it around, that's actually part of what makes the wins so glorious.
Yeah.
And the expertise so hard earned and so rigorous. Like
Yeah.
with you, you're doing bespoke work with every single client, and you've got an amazing team too. Wow. The web pages that they're developing for me, just so looking so great. But yeah, it's because you've chosen to go down that really organic, connected way where
Yeah.
you're helping people in your unique strengths, building a team with your unique values, and putting out that value that you give, that world changing value in ways that you're still connected to and you
Yeah.
can be fulfilled. You can be
Yeah.
fulfilled by. So I love that. I totally get
Yeah.
off on that. That's just my favorite thing in the
Yeah.
world, you know?
Oh, I know, and me too, and we were talking about our ideal client the other day, and it's so reductive, but we always come back to, like, we just wanna work with nice people.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the only factor, and the other thing that we say we look for, which I think came from years of observing and working and experiencing different things, we are really passionate about people that are actively trying to build their businesses.
Yeah.
We want the person that wants to ask questions. We want the person that wants to call up. I love when my clients call me and say, "Oh, Marianne, like, I saw this thing. Should I do it? Should I not? Or I was at an event and they were talking about this. What do you think about that?" Like, I love being that trusted advisor to my
Yeah.
clients. Like, that's so rewarding that they would think to ask me those questions. And the worst clients, in some respects, are the clients that we run ads for and they never respond. They don't read
Uh-huh.
reports. And it fathoms belief, right? Like, we're spending maybe $2,000, $3,000 on platform. They're spending maybe 2,000 with us.
Yeah.
They don't contact us.
Yeah.
They don't, like, they pay their invoice. Every now and then they'll pipe up and say, "Oh, I don't think my ads are working." And then I'm usually like, "Have you read your report?" Like,
Yeah.
yes, and also we've asked you every single month, what's the lead quality like? How are you closing? What's happening? Give us feedback. And we
Yeah.
get nothing back. And I must say, like, my team, I'm blessed because they actually care about that. None of them
Yeah.
go, "Oh, I love those clients that don't reply because I just do what I want and I don't have to worry." Like, they actually love the clients that are in there saying, like, "What else can we do?" Or, "I don't think this is working. What other ideas do you have?" Like, they love that constant improvement. And
Uh,
I think, yes, like, that comes from the top. I am the same. I love when I know that we're doing a good job. And again, I think it's that ethics and that accountability. Like, I don't just want to do work for the sake of work. I
yeah.
want to work with people that I care about. And I'm like, "Oh, I'm personally invested in that person's success. I want more than anything for that person to succeed." For them, not
Yes.
for my benefit, but truly for them, because you get attached to all of these people.
Yes. And
And
the work they're doing is so inspiring.
correct, correct. And that once a year when you look on LinkedIn and you're like, that's it. I'm just going to go and be a GM somewhere and get
Yeah.
pay and have no stress at all. And I say, oh, but what about this person? What about
Yep.
I'll be lost without them and they'll be lost without me. There's that feeling of we need each other. And I think that's as small business owners, I do, and not for everyone. Some people are motivated by the millions, but I think for some of us, we are really motivated by the human to human connection.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I've had so many advisors over the years, whether they've been paid coaches or whether, people just seem to have opinions. Oh, but I've had so many suggest that I should be working with bigger corporate clients. I should be working with teams that have got 70, 100, 200 people
Yeah.
that could really do with your services, Kerry. Like there's such a mess. Yeah, they are. But I don't want to work with them. I don't want to get to know 200 people. I want to get to know
No.
15 people or
Yeah.
7 people
Yeah.
and actually roll up my sleeves and get right in there with them and help them to achieve their goals. I love that.
100%. And
I absolutely love
change
it.
your founder's life. Like the work
Yes.
you do can change a founder's life. Like when you're doing it all, when you're holding the whole of the business in your brain, like we both know it's exhausting. And throughout my whole business ownership, have questioned at different times, how close am I to burning? Like, I don't know. I know I can take a lot. I know I can take a lot of stress. I know I can take a lot of responsibility. But there, I get that niggle sometimes of like, will I know it's coming that I'm going to
No.
burn out? And if I burn out, do I lose everything that I've worked so hard for? So that work of helping someone detach themselves from their business and be able to share that load to others in a way where you feel confident that I guess your legacy in some way is going to go forward. Like that is life changing.
Oh, that's great. I agree. It's actually the thing that motivates me. And it's the reason that I can't just go and get a job
Yeah.
somewhere and settle into some nice cushy thing. No, I look at my clients, particularly in the business owner, but I work across all of the team. So if there's someone in this particular part of the process, I'll work with them
Yeah.
directly, get it sorted out.
Yeah.
So it's not only the owner, but
Yeah.
every time there's that little bit more relief, there's a little
Yeah.
bit more progress that they didn't have to hold on to themselves. There's just a few more problems that are getting solved without them getting involved.
Yeah.
The relief, that load off, it is palpable.
Yeah.
It is like I can physically see there's a bit more of a lift when they
Yeah.
come to the meeting. There's a bit more energy. They've actually had a good night's sleep.
Yeah.
Things like that. That's it. That's actually what it is. And
Yeah.
then I haven't met a client yet. He's like, oh, thanks for taking care of that, Kerry. I'm going to go on a holiday now. They all think they want a holiday until they could. And then, like, oh, now I could do this and now I could do this. It just inspires them to go further.
Yeah, true. And to be able to go like from our very original thought
Mm.
to actually get back to the part they love.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
To let go of all the shit you pick up along the way
Yeah.
and go back to what they love. It's funny, my husband started a gardening business about 3 years ago.
Oh,
And
cool.
yeah, he's been really successful. It's taken off. And when he started, I was like, I'm not doing your bookkeeping. Like, I'm not.
Awesome.
I know that every tradie's wife does. I'm like, I've got my own. I'm not doing yours. You need to be self sufficient. So I taught him zero, and I am a zero problem solver. But
Uh-huh.
hates the job. Is someone hates numbers, hates computers, doing a great job with it. And then the other day I said to him, oh, I'm thinking about getting a bookkeeper. And if it's good, like you should get them too. And he was so anxious now at the thought of letting it go.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
it's become so much of his process. And my husband's one of those people that he needs the processing time. So first of all, I could see in his face the sheer panic at
Yeah.
the thought of giving it up. Like
Yeah.
I was like, okay, don't worry. Like I just like some time back in your life. Don't stress about it. And then a couple of days later, he came back to me and he said, you know what? You're so right. Like, why am I doing? It's not what I'm good at. And yes, it's become part of my process of how I book my clients back in. And
Mm.
he's like, but like if I could save that hour every night that I spend on it, that would be. And it's that thing where we take on all these bits of business
Yeah.
we are not the best people for.
No, that's exactly right. And it doesn't just rob your time, then it robs your motivation. It robs the passion you've got for
Yeah.
the thing you started out to
No,
do.
totally.
Yeah, it robs your
Totally.
headspace. And I just turned 50 August, 6 weeks ago, I turned 50. And so for me, I'm starting to really think about my health a lot more
Yeah.
seriously. And
Yeah.
I think, well, would I rather spend that hour nutting every day till I work out my Facebook ads?
Yeah.
Or would I rather just get someone to come and help me with that so that then I can get on with doing what I'm doing and spend the hour walking in the sun
Yeah.
and doing a bit of yoga by the lake. I mean, that's where I would want to spend
Yeah.
my hour.
Yeah.
And that it accumulates. Like there's never one day that anything you do like in those
Yeah.
lifestyles that make a
Yeah.
jogging difference. But you do that 5, 10, 15, 20 years, it's a trajectory that you
Yeah.
can't get that back.
Yeah, so true. And again, exchanging the things that you're not really best for
That's
anyway,
right.
and actually making an impact on, not just growth, but your health and well-being.
Yes.
All those other things are so important as well.
Yes, it really is. So thank you, Marianne, for helping me to have that time,
Oh, my
to give me
pleasure.
that relief.
I'm going to think of you walking by the lake. And when I onboard my bookkeeper, I think that I should use that as inspiration on the first of every month instead of spending 2 to 3 hours running all the books that I,
Yes.
go out and go for a walk, go do something nice, maybe have a massage.
Yes. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's perfect.
This has been such a great chat,
Yeah,
Kerry. I think it's
indeed.
jam-packed with a bit of everything. So I think I obviously can't sing your praises highly enough for what you did for my business. And it's so long ago that obviously you and I have talked about something we need to come back to again. I don't think these are one and done scenarios. So much has
Sure.
changed since last time we drew out the whole business, actually printed it. I know you know this. And it took up like 2 meters on the wall in the office. But that is something that I know I need to get back to and I know is so valuable for anybody. So can you maybe just let people know a bit about where they can find you and learn more about what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. If you visit me at operationverve.com, you will find my website and everything there. But if you want to reach out for a chat, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm on Facebook, so you can go and grab me there. Kerry Anne Nelson is how you'll find me. And I'm always up for a chat. I'm looking forward to meeting the next inspiring business owner that I can help.
Oh, I love that. Well, thank you so much for your time again. And to everybody else, thanks for listening today. And we'll be back to talk again soon.
Thank you, Marianne.
That's a wrap on another episode of Ready, Set, Paid Ads. If you're looking for done-for-you services, training to upskill you in ads management, or free and paid resources to help you plan and execute better ads, head to wiseupmarketing.com.au. If you've loved this episode, be sure to subscribe for future episodes. And if you know someone that would love this podcast too, go on and share it.